and welcome back to a new video. Today is Friday, so we are doing Friday reviews, and I have 3 movies to talk about today. And so again, I'm just going to run through which 3 I'll be talking about today and in what order. I just do them in the order that I watch them. And then down in the description and the comment section below there'll be some timestamps, so if you only want to hear about not all of the films, you can go ahead and click on those. But first of all, I'll be talking about Denial, which was a June movie release that I hadn't got to yet. So yeah, we've got Denial. Then I will be talking about Get Out, which came out in July. And finally, I'll be talking about Kong Skull Island. So yeah, some really exciting things to talk about today. So let's start it off with Denial. Okay, so I was really interested to see this film because it just looked interesting to me. I kept seeing the trailer at the beginning of certain films. I always check out the trailers of you know, when you put in a movie and trailers come up, I always check out the first few seconds of each, and if it intrigues me, I'm like, ooh, what's this? I look into it, check it out if I hadn't heard of it before, and this was one of them. I can't remember on what films it kept appearing, but it did. And I really like Rachel Weisz, actually. I think she's really good, and she was really good in this film. So basically, this is kind of like a political Holocaust film, and I feel like I can't talk about it too much without having done the research behind the truth of the film. Obviously this is based on a true story, but basically it's about this woman who was trying to, she wrote books and she taught lectures and stuff, and she is kind of trying to look for the proof behind the Holocaust, trying to prove that that Jews were gassed in Auschwitz. I can never say it properly, it's always embarrassing. So she's trying to prove that because there's no real proof. You know, they obviously destroyed the building that it happened in. It's a bit hazy, there's no photographs, and it was kind of hard to prove this. Obviously lots of people believed it did happen, and then there was the few people who were like, this didn't happen, that's not what happened. And one of the guys who says, you know, that's not what happened to him, he's kind of a big guy, people seem to like him, he's written a lot of books, he's a historian. His name's David Irving. He was the most annoying, worst guy ever. I just hated him the whole movie. I mean, you're obviously not supposed to like him. He's very much a Hitler supporter, and you can see how his views are kind of similar, and he kind of very much supports Hitler in a weird roundabout way. And he's played by, what's his name? Timothy Spall, who, I've forgotten to look this up, and I should know, but I'm sure, isn't he Scabbers in Harry Potter? I'm sure that's him. Either way, I've decided I don't think I like Timothy Spall. I don't know if I like the way that he is, but I feel like it was this movie that really put me off him, so maybe he did a really good acting job. He's also in Mr. Turner, which I haven't seen yet, so maybe I'll have to watch that and decide whether it's just he did a really good job making me hate this David Irving, or whether I'm just not a big fan of him. But either way, I think he did actually do a very good acting job, and this David Irving, so a lot of the movie kind of takes place in court. So Rachel Weisz's character has these lawyers, a big team of lawyers who are trying to back her because they obviously don't want this to go to court and then it be, you know, come out that some people think the Holocaust didn't happen and that all this stuff didn't happen when it did. Because as well, you know, obviously this is a big deal to the Jews who were the survivors and all things like that. So there's this big court case, and a lot of it takes place of a court case and lawyers and research and all things like that. And usually that's not typically my type of thing, but I felt like this held its interest throughout the film. I was interested all the way through. I just found some of the facts very interesting. I found it was definitely something I wanted to look more into. This the court thing happened in England, which I thought was interesting. Rachel Weisz's character is an American. She had to come over to England because the laws are different. That was also interesting, and it was quite intense at sometimes. And in the end, you kind of come to the conclusion that David Irving definitely must have something not quite right with him, because it was so weird how it concluded, and I was like, what? And then it kind of made you feel better, because it's like, right, okay, if he thinks this now, at the end of the film, there was no hope. Like, it wasn't just him being annoying on purpose, it was just that he just, I don't know. So I recommend it if you like films about this type of thing, if you like kind of political films, I don't know if you'd call it that, but you know, courtroom stuff, and films you know, based around the Holocaust. I think it was an interesting one. It was different, so I thought it was good. I gave it 4 stars. So yeah, I did think that was a good film. Okay, the next one we have is Get Out. I was really interested to see this film. I'd seen a little bit of the trailer. I don't watch full trailers because I don't like to be spoiled. However, if I'm not 100% sure on if I would pick the film up just based on the pictures and the blurb bit, then I have to watch a bit of the trailer just to give a little bit more. So I watched a little bit of the trailer and I was like, ooh, yes, okay, this sounds interesting. And it's kind of basically sold as like a psychological horror, I guess, which it kind of is. It is, but I wouldn't say it's not too strong on the horror. It was very intense at times, and I found it like intense but not scary. I suppose it is scary on a weird kind of deeper level in some ways. Either way, it's not a typical, I don't know if I'd class it as a horror, basically is what I'm trying to say. And this is written and directed by Jordan Peele, and I think this is his first film he's directed, I believe. And I thought the way that it was directed was really brilliant. Some of the visuals in this were fantastic, which for this type of film it didn't have to be, and I thought it looked great for what it was, and I thought it was really well done. And the main character here, who is his name's Chris, and he's played by Daniel Kaluuya. I think I've said that wrong. I'm sorry, I probably butchered his name, but he definitely deserves mention here because he blew my mind. He was fantastic. He carried this film. I mean, he was the main character, but I feel like if he wasn't as good as he was, I wouldn't have enjoyed this as much as I did. He was just fantastic. I mean, crazy good acting. His facial expressions, his reactions, he was brilliant. Really, really honestly, he was fantastic. So basically, this guy, Chris, is in a relationship with this girl, and she's white and he's black, and she invites him to go and stay with her family for like a weekend. And he's like, okay, yeah, you know, and they're quite rich white people, and he's like, you know, have you told them that I'm black? And she's like, no, why would I? Etc. So he goes to the house, and it's weird. It's weird off the bat, and you can't put your finger on why. It just feels weird. They're kind of a little bit racist, but not mega. It's kind of odd. It's kind of, you can't decide whether they are racist or whether they're not, or what's going on there. They're just kind of like little tiny weird comments. And they have two black, I don't know what you call them, house people. They've got a gardener and I think it's a maid and a cook, I think she is. And they both seem weird. They both seem weird, and it's like, why are they weird? And I was really enjoying this. Ooh, why are people weird? What's going on? I really, really was enjoying the first half of this film. I thought it was just really good. I was really intrigued. I thought it was really intense. There's some moments when I was like, whoo. And then they have this party as well where lots of people come round. It's kind of just a weekend party, and they say, oh yeah, it's on the same day every year, you know, they have this big party. And so a lot of people come around, and things get weirder then, and that was probably one of my favourite bits actually, was during this party. And there's a moment at the party when our main character Chris is thinking, okay, this is just a bit weird, because as well, people are definitely being racist to him in this party, and he kind of feels a bit awkward, you know, it's a bit out of place, and he takes a minute and goes upstairs, and there's a moment there, that scene was great. I loved it. I'm not going to spoil it, but it was good. It was a really good scene. Anyway, so like I say, weird things going on, and of course we know something's going to become of this. And the thing that kind of unravels, I was a little bit disappointed with, and I can't really put my finger on why. I definitely will watch this again. I can't put my finger on what it was. It wasn't, I still think it's very interesting. If you think into it, it's kind of weird, and I can't really go into it without spoiling it, so I'm not going to, but the reveal, I also felt like maybe, I can't decide whether it's a little bit too soon, because I was enjoying so much of the suspense and the mystery, and oh my gosh, what's going on, and I wanted to be able to pick more of the pieces together myself, and then I kind of feel like all of a sudden it was like, oh, here we go, this is what it is, and I was like, oh, I kind of wanted a bit more. And in this, there's also a teacup. If you've seen the film, you'll know what I mean. There's this teacup and a spoon. I thought that was genius. I thought that was fantastic. I loved that. I'm not going to go into what that's about, but if you've seen the film, you know. So, to kind of conclude my thoughts there, if that didn't make sense, the first two thirds I thought were really interesting and gripping, but kind of the last third was just kind of a bit okay for me. I kind of wanted a little bit more. And so yeah, I mean, like I say, I can't go into too much detail because I don't want to spoil the film, but I did really enjoy it, and I definitely want more of this type of thing. So I did give it 4 stars, and I also thought that Chris, our main character, has this friend, and he was so funny. I laughed quite a bit with him. I thought he was a brilliant character. He kind of added some comic relief, and I felt like he also was just brilliant. Everything you would think in your head, like, oh, and I like how it's called Get Out, because it was like you wanted this guy to just get out, and it was like, it made sense. And his friend was brilliant, and I loved him. He just added a lot to the film for me, and he was fantastic. So there was kind of quite a few good characters in this, and I really, really liked the friend. I can't talk about the film and not just mention that the friend was just brilliant. So yeah, Get Out, really did enjoy this one. I feel like maybe I would have given it 4.5, but I just needed, I don't know, I need a little bit more. But it also says here, includes alternate endings. So I'm looking forward to checking out the special features on this one. And then finally, we have Kong Skull Island. Okay, I actually, after watching the film, have looked at some reviews, and people didn't seem to like this too much. I, however, loved this. I thought it was just so fun, and that's all I kind of really wanted. So King Kong, the Peter Jackson one, the 2000 and, I don't know, 5, 4, no, I really don't know, the 2001 King Kong is 3 hours and a bit long, and I've seen it maybe parts of it and then in full length once, maybe twice, I don't know. I've seen it but a long time ago, and I always kind of enjoyed it. You know, it's got Jack Black in, and you know, I always thought, yeah, I enjoy that film, it's fine, but it's kind of long for me. This one isn't as long, so I was like, oh, okay, it got a tick for that for me initially, because you know me and long films. And then also, I was so surprised how much bigger Kong was in this film initially. And then it's funny because after I'd watched this, I was looking up about King Kong, the other one, and I noticed there's this picture of King Kong and this dinosaur, this T-Rex, and I was like, oh, I do not remember that. I don't remember that bit. I feel like that's probably an iconic thing in the film. I was like, I don't remember that happening. So I feel like what I was going to say about this one kind of, I really should watch the other one, because the other one might have been similar. I felt like this one was really different and cool, and I really loved it, and I'm like, wait, was it that different, or was it kind of the same? So I don't know. But basically, we have these group of people who obviously go to this island. It's hard to get to, it's one of the undiscovered places, and they think weird things are going to be there, and obviously there are. And they get to the island pretty quick, which I really liked. It wasn't kind of like a lot of faffing about, it was just like, okay, meet the characters, get in the helicopters, let's get through the storm, pretty easy. Well, it didn't look easy, but they didn't like drag it out. And they're like, okay, here we are, and it looked stunning. The island looked great. I was like, oh, we like this. And then we see Kong, and he is giant. Then again, we see Kong before that, and I really liked that kind of beginning scene as well. Thought that was really good. So yeah, we see Kong, and he is ginormous, and I'm like, ooh, yeah. And then kind of things start going down right there and then. I was like, oh, great, you know, and the music is great, and it's set in the 70s. And I thought it was really, really good. When Black Sabbath came on, the song, and, well, the song by Black Sabbath, what's it called? I can't think of the song, begins with a P, somebody's going to know it, don't worry, you guys will know it. It came on, and I was like, yes, this is awesome, it was fun, it was cool. I kind of felt bad for Kong, though, initially. Well, actually, all throughout, I always felt bad for Kong. But, yes, it was awesome, and I thought, I'm going to like this film, it's going to be good. And it carried on like that, it carried on fun and cool, and I just really, really enjoyed it. There was this part where this big kind of horned thing appears, and again, not going to spoil too much or anything about it, this horned thing, and I was like, ooh. And then I realised what this island was, and it became way cooler, and there was like other things going on bar just Kong, and I was like, yes, this is really, really cool. I really like how it's not just like Kong. It was really awesome, and so I really, really liked that. The only thing I didn't like about this film was definitely Samuel Jackson. Now, it's not Samuel Jackson himself, I don't think, it was his character. I hated his character. I mean, you were supposed to not like his character, but I don't know if he took it too far for me. I was just like, I do not like his character at all. And it kind of started to get a bit annoying, but that's the only kind of real problem I had. I thought the rest of the cast was fantastic. I loved Tom Hiddleston. He's great. Always love him. Brie Larson, really loved her. And John C. Reilly. John C. Reilly was fantastic. I thought he was so funny. He was such a brilliant piece to this film. I feel like without him, it would have been maybe a little bit boring, but I wasn't expecting him, and it was just surprised me. It was interesting. It was great. Really enjoyed that. And overall, I just thought it was a fun film for this kind of thing that you want. I feel like it gave me everything that I wanted. I was like, yes, this is what I wanted. This is what I wanted to be. Like I say, the soundtrack was awesome. Visually, it looked great. Great kind of action scenes, great cast of people. I really enjoyed this. I can't wait to watch it again. I gave it 4.5 stars. Really enjoyed it. Thought the animals were cool. Thought the island was cool. Yeah, that's kind of all I have to say about it, but I did really enjoy it. There's definitely a lot more I could say if I was going to spoil it, but I won't. So yeah, really enjoyed Kong. Really surprised I enjoyed it as much as I did, and yeah, I was really happy that I did. So that was my favourite actually out of 3, but there we go. In order, I liked Kong, then Get Out, and then Denial. So those are the 3 that I watched for Friday reviews. Let me know down in the comments below if you have seen any of these. What are your thoughts on these films? Did you enjoy them? Did you not? Thumbs up if you enjoy Friday reviews, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, or if you are a newbie, and I'll see you then. Goodbye!